Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that in the previous lecture we have started our discussion over the geographical features of India, right? That was the topic on which we had started our discussion in the previous lecture. Basically within this particular lecture of the geographical features of India, we have covered the part 1 in the previous lecture where we have seen certain things in a proper way. Now, in this lecture, basically we are going to talk about the part 2, okay, in terms of geographical features of India. All right. So basically these all are the topics in this part 2 that we are going to discuss. Like first we will talk about the Peninsular Plateau. In this we will see the Central Highlands, the Deccan Plateau, the Western Ghats, the Eastern Ghats, the difference between the Western and the Eastern Ghats. Thereafter we will have the Indian Desert. In this we will have the Indian Desert, which is also known as Thar Desert, key characteristics of Thar Desert, then the coastal plains. Here we have the key features of the coastal plains. Thereafter, the islands, in which we have the three, like the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the Lakshadweep Islands, and then the key features of these islands. So basically, this is going to be our topics, the area of discussion according to this. Basically, remember, whenever we talk about the geographical features of India, so we are talking about the geographical division of India, which is in 6 parts. The Great Himalayas, which we have covered in the previous lecture. Then the Northern Plains, which is also we have covered in the previous lecture. Okay. Then comes the Peninsular Plateau, we are going to discuss here. The Indian Desert, we are going to discuss here. The Coastal Plain, we are going to discuss here. The islands, we are going to discuss here. Okay. So this is the complete picture that we are having. So before starting this lecture, there is a small disclaimer. And the disclaimer is, the images used in a slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and the owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Okay. So now let's first begin the Peninsular Plateau. So basically, if we talk about the plateau and if we talk about the mountains, then generally whenever we look at these, we consider that both are the same. Why? Because both are the elevated landforms. The mountains are elevated in comparison with the ground level, as well as the plateaus are elevated as comparison with the ground level. So generally the person who is observing these two structures from the ground, he considered that mountain and the plateau are same. But because we are talking about these things in a proper sense or in a statistical and the scientific sense, then we can say the plateau is different from the mountain. The mountain is an elevated structure which is basically of the height of 600 meters and above. Okay. The average height of the mountain is normally 600 meters above. Whereas if we talk about the plateau, the average height of the plateau is nearly about 600 meters and below of this. Okay. So both of them are the elevated areas, but the key difference is their height. Second difference is their edibility. Like the mountains are generally having the conical shape, whereas the plateaus generally having the flat shape. Okay, that's the thing. So I hope now the difference between the plateau and the mountain has become clear in your mind. Now let's talk about the peninsula. So if we talk about the peninsula, then remember one thing always. The peninsular is basically signifies the ancient thing. Okay, like the structure that existed in India in ancient time and even before the starting of the ancient time. All right. So we can say the Peninsular Plateau is basically forms a triangular shaped tableland. Okay, triangular shaped tableland, and that is a part of the ancient landmass that was known as the Gondwana land. So we can say when India was not in subcontinent and was to be the part of the common continent of Gondwana land, on that time the Peninsular Plateau was formulated. And this happened billions of years ago. Got it? It covers an area nearly of 5 lakh square kilometers, spans across the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Bihar, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. Okay. Remember when we talk about the Peninsular Plateau, so these are older than the Himalayan mountains. Okay. The Himalayan mountains are the youngest folded mountains, whereas the Peninsular Plateau is an ancient landmass. Okay. That was the part of the Gondwana. The states that we have mentioned here, please remember these states because these states are important from the examination point of view. Might be the question could be asked in the examination regarding these areas that have been covered by the Peninsular Plateau. Okay. Thereafter, the plateau is divided into the two major groups or the two major parts by the river Narmada. It means suppose if this is in plateau, this is the river Narmada. So this divided the plateau into the two major parts. Okay. The first part is the Central Highlands. The Central Highlands, if we talk about, these extended from the Narmada River to the northern plains. It means here we're talking about the upper division. Okay. This region includes the significant features like the Aravalli range are there. Okay. And we know the Aravalli basically stands from the Gujarat, goes through Rajasthan to Delhi. You will ask Delhi having any mountains? No. Basically, Delhi having the traces of the residual mountains. Okay. And the traces of Aravalli here is famously known as the Rayasena Hills. Famously known as Rayasena Hills, where your Rashtrapati Bhavan and other things are situated. Okay. The highest peak of Aravalli is Guru Shikhar, that is 1722 meters of height, and that is near Mount Abu. Remember, Mount Abu is the only known hill station of Rajasthan. The Malwa Plateau and the Chota Nagpur Plateau are also the integral parts of the Central Highlands. Okay. The Malwa Plateau is basically signifies through the western part of Rajasthan and all, and the Chota Nagpur Plateau basically signifies the eastern part of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and all. Okay. Now, if we talk about the important rivers here which flows through, then they including the Betwa, Chambal, Kane, and these rivers are on the Malwa Plateau. and Mahadev, Kemore, and Makar Hills. These are on the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay. The Narmada Valley is basically lies between the Vindhyas and the Satpura range and flowing east to west, and basically it's emptying or merging the Arabian Sea. Okay. Narmada and Tapti, these are the well-known two rivers of the Indian subcontinent that flows east to west and falls into Arabian Sea, while mostly of the rivers fall into the Bay of Bengal. Thereafter, the Deccan Plateau. They is separated from the Chota Nagpur Plateau by a fault line that is known as the Deccan Plateau, and this feature is known as the Deccan Trap. Okay, this is basically formed by the volcanic eruptions, which is renowned for its fertile black soil idol for cotton and sugarcane cultivation. Thereafter, the Deccan Plateau itself got further divided into the various valleys. Like the first is the Western Ghats. Okay, so Western Ghats, if we talk about, these are also known as Sahyadris. Okay, these mountains lie along the western edge of the Deccan Plateau. That's why these are known as the Western Ghats. And even they running parallel to the western sea coast of India. And the length is all about 1,600 kilometers. The average elevation of the Western Ghats is 1,000 meters. And the peaks are Doda Beta, Anaimudi, and Makurti. These peaks are there. Anaimudi is the highest peak of the Western Ghats with the height of 2,695 meters. Thereafter, the Western Ghats are continuous and can be traversed through the passes such as Palghat, Talghat, and Borghat. Rivers like Godavari, Bhima, and Krishna being flowing eastward, while the Tapti, like I have told you, Narmada and Tapti, these are the only two well-known rivers of Indian subcontinent that flows westward. Okay, there are the numerous streams that form the rapids and waterfalls before reaching the Arabian Sea. Famous ones are including the Chowk Falls on the Sharavarti River and Shivam Samudra Falls on the Kaveri River. Alright. Thereafter, the Eastern Ghats. So these are the discontinuous low belt with an average elevation of 600 meters. And these running parallel to the east coast from south of the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiri Hills. Alright. If we talk about the highest peak, then the highest peak is Mahendragiri, which of 1,501 meters of height. Notable hills including the Mahendragiri Hills, which is also the highest peak of the Eastern Ghats, Nimaigiri Hills that are in Odisha, Nannamalai Hills, these are in southern Andhra Pradesh, Kollimalai Hills, and the Pachimalai, these are in the Tamil Nadu. Okay. The region is stained by the river systems like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. The Nilgiri Hills connects the western and the eastern Ghats in south. And remember, this is basically an interaction zone between these two divisions of the Deccan Plateau. Okay. If we talk about the difference between the western and the eastern Ghats, first is continuity. The Western Ghats are continuous while Eastern Ghats are discontinuous. It means various rivers are there which intersects the Eastern Ghats time to time. If we talk about the average elevation, so the Western Ghats having a higher elevation or the higher average elevation of 1000 meters in comparison to the Eastern Ghats that are having the average elevation of 600 meters only. If we talk about the extent, Western Ghats run along with the Western coasts for about 1600 kilometers, whereas Eastern Ghats are stretched from south of the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiri Hills. Okay. Thereafter, if we talk about the highest peak, Anaimudi, that is of 2695 meters of height. This is the highest peak in the Western Ghats. While Mahendragiri, these are at the height of 1501 meters. This is the highest peaks in the Eastern Ghats. If we talk about the rivers, then Western Ghats are generally drained rivers having the eastwards to the Arabian Sea, like Godavari, Bhima, and Krishna. Whereas the Eastern Ghat drain rivers eastward into the Bay of Bengal, like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri rivers. Okay. So after finishing the Peninsular Plateau, now we are going to talk about the another division of the geographical features of India. Okay. So this is the Indian desert. So remember, there are the two type of deserts generally in the world: hot deserts and the cold desert. The cold deserts are why we call them desert as in, like the rainfall is very much low, there is no such type of vegetation and all. But in the hot desert, the rainfall is low, no such vegetation, but temperatures are generally high in comparison with the cold desert. So basically, when we talk about the Indian desert, then we only talk about the Thar desert, and the Thar desert are having the higher temperature. The Indian desert, also known as the Thar desert, stretches along the western margin of the Aravalli Hills. Okay, basically it ranks as the 9th largest desert globally and spans across the states of Gujarat and the states of Rajasthan. This is characterized by the semi-arid to the arid condition. This region is generally receive the rainfall which is less than 150 mm of rainfall annually. Okay. If we talk about the vegetation, then the vegetation is not dense but sparse or scacial, mainly consisting of the thorny bushes. Okay. The Luni River. The Luni River is the primary river in the area. Okay. Which having the other streams appearing only during the periods of rainfall. It means that they do not having a perennial or the evergreen rivers. Generally, the mostly rivers only forms on a temporary basis during the rainy time. Okay. Thereafter, if we talk about the key characteristics of the Thar desert. Okay. Key characteristics of the Thar desert if we talk about. Then the first characteristic is the dry climate. The Thar desert is mainly remains dry for most of the year. Why? Because the moisture bearing winds, these goes parallel to the Aravalli range. It means that the monsoon rains are generally flow parallel to these winds. Okay. So that's why these winds are not able to hold these winds. Sorry, these ranges are not able to hold these winds which could cause an precipitation. They generally let the winds pass through the hills. Okay? This is resulting in the scanty rainfall. Thereafter, we talk about the flora. The cacti and the thorny bushes, these dominate the sparse vegetation of the desert. Thereafter, if we talk about the water resources, so the access to the water is limited because of the inability of the water. Like there are the oases and the small water bodies and the synduits, you can call them. This requiring travelers to cover long distances so that they could quench their thirst. If we talk about the sand dunes, the desert landscape is generally adorned with the extensive and sand dunes, which contribute to its scenic beauties. Thereafter, the culture richness. The people of the Thar Desert follow the rich cultural traditions and the lifestyles that are generally based and shaped up by the desert environment. Okay? These aspects collectively define the unique and the challenging environment of the Thar Desert in India. After this, now we have the coastal plains. So if we talk about these coastal plains, so the coastal plains of India generally runs parallel to the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal along with the Peninsular Plateau. The western coastal plain is a narrow strip along the Arabian Sea. This is ranging from 10 to 20 kilometers wide. It extends from Rann of Kutch in Gujarat to Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. Alright. After this, the another division that we have is the coastal plain. Okay. So the western coastal plain, if we talk about this, can be divided into the three main sectors. Remember, coastal plain is this portion, and the black strip that you are seeing over here, this is an Western Ghats, which is the part of the Deccan Plateau. Here also, this boundary is the eastern coastal plains, and these things that you are seeing over here, this blue boundary, this is the Eastern Ghats. So remember these difference. So the first division is the Konkan coast. The Konkan coast is extended from Mumbai to Goa. Then Karnataka coast extended from Goa to Mangalore. Then Malabar coast extended or stretching from Mangalore to the Kanyakumari. On the other hand, the eastern coast runs along the Bay of Bengal and it is broader than the western coastal plain with an average width of nearly about 120 kilometers. Okay. The northern part of the eastern coast is also known as Northern Sircars, while the southern part is referred to as the Coromandel coast. The eastern coastal plain is generally characterized by the deltas formed by the major rivers. These rivers are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. In Odisha, to the south of Mahanadi Delta lies the Chilika Lake. Chilika Lake is the largest saltwater lake in India. Thereafter, the key features of the coastal plains, if we talk about, then the first is the agriculture. These plains are having the fertile belts suitable for growing a variety of crops, including the spices, rice, coconut, and pepper. Then the trade and commerce. They serve as an important centers of trade and commerce due to their proximity to the sea. Then the fishing. The coastal areas are renowned for their fishing activities, leading to the development of numerous fishing villages along the coast. Then, natural features. They are the notable natural features including the Vemanad Lagoon that is located on Malabar coast, and this is famous for its biodiversity and the scenic beauty. The coastal plains plays a crucial role in India's economy, culture, biodiversity, offering the diverse opportunities for agriculture, trade, and coastal life. After the coastal plains, now we have the islands to discuss. So India is home to two main groups of islands, like the Andaman and thereafter the Nicobar. These are lies in Bay of Bengal, comprising 204 islands, and the Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea and comprising the 43 islands here. The Andaman and the Nicobar Islands, these are generally located in the Bay of Bengal in the eastern sides. These stretch from north to south. These islands are larger in size compared to the Lakshadweep Islands. Among them, the Barrett Islands is an host of the active volcano, making it a unique geological features in the region. And remember, the Barrett Island is the only active volcano of the India also. Then comes the Lakshadweep Island. This is situated near the Malabar coast of Kerala in the Arabian Sea in the western part. The Lakshadweep Islands covers a total area of 32 square kilometers. Kavaratti is their capital, and these islands are primarily the coral formations and showcasing a rich diversity of flora and fauna. Okay. If we talk about the key features of these islands, first is geographical distribution. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands lie in the Bay of Bengal, while the Lakshadweep Islands are in the Arabian Sea. These are near the Kerala's Malabar coast. Then the natural attractions. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands feature an active volcano and on Barren Island, offering a distinctive natural landscape. Lakshadweep Islands, being the coral atolls, boast pristine beaches and vibrant marine life. Then the tourism. Both islands groups are popular tourist destinations, attracting the visitors for activities such as snorkeling, scuba diving, deep sea diving, and other water sports. The clear water and rich marine biodiversity make these islands ideal for underwater exploration. Okay. Then, if we talk about the flora and fauna, these islands are renowned for their unique ecosystem, supporting a wide variety of plant and animal species adapted to islands environment. India's island not only contribute to its biodiversity and natural beauty, but also play a significant role in tourism, offering the unforgettable experience for travelers seeking the marine adventures and tranquil islands getaways. So students, here we have finished the topic. Now it's just a part of taking the small and the quick summary of the things that we have discussed in this lecture. This is like a small recap. First is the Peninsular Plateau. If we talk about the geographical overview, so remember this is a triangular shaped tableland that is a part of ancient Gondwana land. Area, if we talk about 5 lakh square kilometers. States, if we talk about Gujarat, Maharashtra, Bihar, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. Division, if we talk about Central Highlands. Location is extend from the Narmada River to the northern plains. Features, Aravalli Range highest peak is Guru Shikhar at 1722 meters. Malwa Plateau, Chota Nagpur Plateau. Rivers are Betba, Chambal, Kane in Malwa Plateau, Mahadev, Kembur, Maikal Hills in Chota Nagpur Plateau. Narmada Valley, flows east to west and empties into the Arabian Sea. Thereafter, if we talk about the Deccan Plateau, south of the Narmada Valley, separated from the Chotanagpur Plateau by a fault line. Features are Deccan Trap, volcanic formation, fertile black soil ideal for cotton and sugarcane. Thereafter, if we talk about the subdivisions, then Western Ghats, also known as Sahyadri, extent runs parallel to the western coast of about 1,600 kilometers. Elevation, average elevation is of 1,000 meters, highest peak is Anaimudi, which is 2,695 meters. Rivers are Godavari, Bhima, Krishna, and Tapti. Features are continuous and having the noble passes like Palghat, Talghat, Borghat. Notable falls include the Jog Falls and Shiva Samudra Falls. Eastern Ghats extend this continuous belt from south of Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiri Hills. Elevation is average 600 meters. Highest peak is Mahendragiri, 1,501 meters. Rivers are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. Features are connects with the Western Ghats in the south via Nilgiri Hills. Then Indian Desert, geographical overview. Location is western margin of the Aravalli Hills. It is the 9th largest desert globally, spans from Gujarat to Rajasthan. Semi-arid to arid area, receive rainfall with less than 150 mm of rainfall annually. Vegetation is sparse, mainly consists of thorny bushes. Key feature, dry climate, moisture-bearing winds that pass parallel to the Aravalli range, resulting in the scanty rainfall. Flora is dominated by cacti and the thorny bushes. Water resource, limited with the oases and the small water bodies that requiring the long distances to access. Sand dunes, extensive sand dunes are a significant feature and cultural richness is there. Rich traditions and lifestyle shaped by the desert environment. Then coastal plains. Western coastal plain width is 10 to 20 km wide. Extend from Run of Kutch, Gujarat to the Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. Sectors are Konkan coast, Mumbai to Goa, Karnataka coast, Goa to Mangalore, Malabar coast, Mangalore to Kanyakumari. Eastern coastal plain with its 120 km extend along the Bay of Bengal. Divisions is Northern Siskers are the northern part, Coromandel coast southern part. Deltas of rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Chilka Lake, largest saltwater lake in India. Key features, agriculture, fertile for crops like spices, rice, coconut and pepper. Trade and commerce, important centers due to the proximity to the sea. Fishing, noted for their fishing activities and the development of fishing villages. Natural features, Veman and Lagoon on Malabar coast known for biodiversity and scenic beauty. Islands of India. Andaman Nicobar Islands, location is Bay of Bengal, number of islands 204, features larger than the Lakshadweep Islands. Barrier Island has an active volcano. Lakshadweep Islands, location is Arabian Sea near Kerala's Malabar coast. Area is 32 square kilometers. Then features are coral atolls. Kavaratti is the capital, rich in flora and fauna. Then key features. Geographical distribution. Andaman Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal, Lakshadweep in Arabian Sea. Natural attractions, active volcano on barren island, Andaman Nicobar. Coral atolls with the vibrant marine life in Lakshadweep. Tourism is popular for snorkeling, scuba diving, water sports. Both group offers the diverse marine adventures and the tranquil island experiences. Okay. So students, basically in this lecture, we have finished the geographical features of India. In the next lecture, we will start with another important topic. Till then, just revise the facts and figures that all we have discussed in this lecture. Be ready for the next lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture and thank you.